Então escolho. Acho que eu não consigo fazer live mesmo, aí mal sentei, já quero levar fazer um café agora. Parada automática. Cheque das lábias. Usina Express.
Hey there, friends. I hope you're doing well. I'm Laura, aka Weird Barbie, and today
Minutes remaining to complete Ninja Buff.
we're talking about something a little personal.
Qualidade top.
My first 100 hours in Final Fantasy XI. What surprised me closed the launch, so I make do, because I really love this game. How much people are willing to suffer to play it should speak volumes about how damn good it is, because the black screen of Doom is a very common bug, and yet this game still has between 40 and 100,000 monthly players. Now, I know what you must be asking. If it's so frustrating, why did you even start playing Final Fantasy XI in the first place? Good question. Because you're right. Initially, every single thing about the game made me say, nope. So how did I get 100 hours in with no signs of stopping anytime soon? Well, out of curiosity, I watched this YouTube video where someone was trying FF11 in a recent year. As they talked about the systems and the setup and the old school design, my brain was basically doing a checklist of nope, nope, definitely nope. Oh, that would trigger me. Absolutely not. No thanks. Never ever. It was like a bingo card of all the things that usually make me quit games. Well, here's the thing. My therapist told me something that kind of changed the way I look at games. She said that the things that trigger me in games can actually be used as little mini training experiences. A way to slowly reduce my reactivity in a safe, low-stakes, comfortable environment. Instead of being something I avoid, these can be things I gently confront at my own pace, in a world where the worst-case scenario is I die and respawn, not I lose my job. So I looked at Final Fantasy XI, A game full of triggers, decision-making pressure, complexity, and overwhelmingness. And I thought, well, this is
5 minutes have
basically a
elapsed
buffet of
since
all
your
the things
last
I
activity.
struggle
If
with.
you are inactive for 10
And then,
minutes,
for
you will
some
be
reason,
expelled from the team.
something in my brain clicked. And I went,
Eu
you
tô
know
num
what?
dute,
Bring it
velho.
on, bitch.
Não, eu tô num dute. Achei que ele tava
You
já.
have entered a sanctuary.
Ah, tá. Eu, hein?
I'm ready. So I found a setup guide. I jumped through all the hoops, made several blood sacrifices, prayed to at least 7 heathen gods, and finally got the game running. Then I had to deal with my external controller, because I play on the docked Steam Deck, which means there was yet another layer of chaos to figure out. Getting that to work was a journey all by itself, but once I finally got it dialed in, once I could move comfortably, once I understood the buttons, it was actually simple. People say, oh, you should play Final Fantasy XI with a keyboard and mouse, but like, I play half reclined in bed. I don't want to reach for my keyboard unless I have to. I don't want to use WASD to move. Like, why would I move 3 fingers when I can just move my thumbs? Less finger movement is always better. And honestly, Final Fantasy XIV on a controller is way more complicated than 11. But the biggest surprise for me wasn't the easy controls, it was actually the aesthetic of the game. I was expecting something loud, colorful, kind of like 14's, look at all this shiny stuff. But 11 is, like, soft, desaturated, gentle. Not colorless, not at all, but just natural, muted. There's no neon explosions, no glowing anime hair colors. It's quiet, it's earthy, it's visually calm. And for me, someone who gets overwhelmed by visual stimulation and who can get thrown off and shut down by bright, saturated chaos, it was like slipping into warm water. It didn't trigger me, it didn't push me away, it didn't make me slam the escape key and stare at the wall. I could just exist in it. And that was honestly the moment I realized, oh, I think I'm gonna like this game. Okay, listen, we need a brief intermission here, because I need to take a moment to talk about something extremely important that I absolutely was not prepared for when I started playing this game. The male eye candy. Because, oh my god. I was expecting, like early 2000s polygon dudes in baggy tunics. What I got instead was a smorgasbord of shirtless kings, boob windows, outfits held together by 2 belts in a dream, and gear that looks like it walked straight out of a bondage convention. And I literally know what I'm talking about on that front, because I'm a multifaceted person with a very wide range of interests. Like, who exactly was designing these outfits at Square Enix? Like, who signed off on the cut a perfectly symmetrical hole so his pecs are exposed idea? Who was like, yeah, this armor is good, but like, what if we removed the entire chest piece and just covered him in straps? Because whoever that was, whoever they are, they understood the assignment. They knew their market, they knew exactly what they were doing, and they served. Because Mama is eaten well in this game. Before my eyes at any given time, a feast, a visual buffet, a whole tasting menu of handsome, polygonal men in strategically revealing outfits. Every time I walk through Bastock, I feel like I need to tip someone. And honestly, I am so here for it. I fully support equal opportunity fan service, because if ladies get bunny suits, the dudes can get harnesses and boob windows, okay? That's just balance. That's just like math. Final Fantasy XI really said, we are a serious, pretty MMO with political intrigue and ancient gods. But also here are some half-naked men in leather straps. Enjoy. And I do. I absolutely do. Now, half-naked men aside, the first major wall I hit in the game was the lack of direction. There's no MSQ, no glowing quest markers, no true linear do this, now meet this NPC breadcrumb trail like in Final Fantasy XIV. There's a smattering of that stuff early game, but it's basically nothing at all compared to modern games. And as someone with ADHD, autism, and executive dysfunction, I really struggled at first. My brain is used to games telling me, this is a system you need to learn, so here's the quest that introduces it. But in 11, there are like 47,000 systems and the game says nothing. No guidance, no tutorials, no hand-holding. Just, you're a tiny level 1 person with a stick. Good luck. When I watched some beginner tips videos and I realized how huge the game actually is, like how many mechanics there are, I had one of those moments where your brain kind of fizzles and explodes like an overloaded light bulb. There was just like too much. What should I do? Where should I go? What matters? What doesn't? My brain was like, error 404, decision making not found. So I simplified. I thought, okay, if I can't choose between the 100,000 different options, I'll just choose one. And that one thing was collect all the teleport crystals I can. It was simple, it was clear, and it felt good. I could just walk, explore, unlock things. No pressure, no decision trees, just vibes. So I wandered on foot between cities, leveling as I went, and slowly built up my little network. Sandoria, Winters, Bastok, Selbina, Mahora, Andalin, Juno, Nord, and a handful of outposts and random crags. Unlocking these made me feel grounded, like I was finally making progress in a game that doesn't always make progress obvious. And at some point I went, okay, I think that's enough pounds for now, I want to work on something else. And what I ended up gravitating toward next was coalition assignments. If you've played Final Fantasy XIV, you know how comforting guild leaves can be. Small, structured tasks with clear goals, clear rewards, and no overwhelming decision-making required. Coalition assignments in 11 feel exactly like that. So naturally, my brain clung to that. It was familiar, it was predictable, and it made sense. I could pick up a task, do it, turn it in, and instantly feel like I had accomplished something without needing to dive into a complicated system or make 17 decisions. I did a bunch of them, just vibing, just doing little jobs for the coalitions, and slowly started stacking up Bale, unlocking maps, and getting a feel for Andalin and its whole ecosystem. It wasn't my hyperfixation the way chocobo raising would become, but it was the perfect stepping stone. And after a while, once I had my maps and a handful of rewards, and felt a little more grounded, I moved on and finally jumped into the chocobo side of the game, and I was not prepared for how deep that rabbit hole goes. Because I discovered something that genuinely changed my relationship with this game. Chocobo raising and breeding in Final Fantasy XI is way more in-depth than in 14. And as someone who loves sports games like Gallop Racer, my brain basically exploded. Stats, breeding, pedigrees, racing, RNG, genetics. It was like Square Enix reached into my soul and pulled out a whole personality trait and turned it into a system. I was instantly obsessed. The only downside? It takes time. Like, your chocobo egg takes 4 real days to hatch, and like a month to become an adult. So it became this slow, cozy side project simmering in the background. While I waited, I kind of stumbled into another system that ended up becoming one of my favorite parts of the game. The Mog Garden. Getting it set up, unlocking it, and realizing I could grow things and chop things and harvest things, like, it was perfect. It was like being handed my own tiny pocket island. A little cozy corner of Vanadiel that was just mine. What surprised me most, though, is how grounding it feels. Because on days when I log in and my brain goes, no thoughts, just overwhelm, the Mog Garden is my soft place to learn. I can always start there. I collect my daily crystal, I check on my plants,
Mas eu continuo vendo isso. Ai, que calor que tá, velho. Missão. Não tá aqui, missão.
You have left the
Ai,
sanctuary.
que calor,
You have entered the
cacete.
sanctuary. You have left the sanctuary.
Ai. Tá, dois leves. Dois leves.
Registration language, English. Duty registration complete.
Ai, que calor da porra. Que calor, cacete. O que eu faço enquanto isso? Falta um tanque. Nossa, pior que esses feitos são bons.
Duty pop the Navy. Party icons entering the Navy.
Nossa, nem nada. What the hell? Gaivota. Golfinho, bonitinho. Esse aqui é título. Olha que bonito. Eu não ganho petzinho vivo. Sem graça. Carpenter. Bota isso.
try on the chronicler's crown.
Alô? Ai, 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 ai.